I am also a lifelong Democrat. And when I wanted to come here today, I had some people say, why would you even want to go? You're a Democrat. I said, excuse me, is not Governor Christie my governor? Isn't he my governor as much as your governor? And I was anxious to come and hear you live. I don't agree with everything you say, but who agrees with anything anybody ever says? Yep. But there's a lot of things that I respect, and I've watched your career, and I have voted out of the line many times. And I was anxious to be here today. I actually don't have a question because you answered a lot of them.
Good.
So you did a good job.
All right. I'm getting better at this.
But I am embarrassed. I would love to have a hand raise of any lifelong Democrats that are in this room. Okay, we have a couple.
We're not taking names.
We have a couple. Okay, good. Because I think you need to support who's in office at the time, see what they're about, be open-minded, hear what they have to say, and be here. Not say, you know, you're a Democrat, you don't belong. I do belong here.
You bet.
Because you're my government. You're my governor.
Thank you.
As much as anyone else. I believe you're doing a good job. And just because I didn't vote for you the first time doesn't mean I won't the second time.
That's right. Well, first of all, thank you for coming. And thank you for overcoming the objection of others who say you shouldn't be here. And this is something I've been talking about a lot. I didn't talk about it today. I've been talking about it a lot as I travel across the state and around the country. Our problems now are too big and too serious for us to say, as Republicans, we won't work with Democrats, and as Democrats, we won't work with Republicans. The people of the state have a great sense of humor. They elected a Republican governor and kept the Democratic Legislature, right? So what are my choices when I win, right? I mean, you know, I could be like the people in Washington, D.C., who just send out press releases, yell and scream at each other, hold their breath, and do nothing. And what we see in Washington from both parties is that they're doing nothing. And as our problems continue to mount, we have a president, we have members of Congress of both parties who all they do is yell and scream at each other, call each other names, do all the rest of that. Now, what's the difference in New Jersey? We yell at each other sometimes. We also call each other names sometimes. I'm good at that. And also, so are my opponents pretty good at calling me all kinds of names. You may remember last summer, the Senate president called me some names on the front page of the Sunday Star-Ledger that I never thought I'd ever see in print in my life. I mean, he calls me those things privately, but I just never thought that would actually get out in print. But here's the difference. We sit down and talk because we know, and this is the great thing about Steve Sweeney, and like you said, you don't agree with everything that I do. I don't agree with everything Steve stands for either, and he doesn't with me. But what we know is that we got elected to do a job for the people of this state. And our job is to find common ground and to get things done to try to make the state better. And whether he's a Democrat or I'm a Republican can't matter more than the fact that we're New Jerseyans. And we have to get this job done. You know, folks in this state elected me to do that. They didn't elect me because they thought I was going to be charming, right? They elected me because they thought the state was in pretty bad shape, and they wanted somebody who they thought was going to be tough enough to do those things. But while you can be tough, and I have been, you also have to be reasonable and you have to listen. And you're a great example of being reasonable. You're here.